Well, we're on our way to the movies right now. I'm going to see the Bob Dylan movie, and the girls are going to see Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic 3!
Sonic 3. Should be a lot of fun. We're heading there right now. I want to finish up my videos, though. I got the 3-year-olds left. Some of them are just, all of them has just turned 3. Some of them are racing. Some of them are getting ready to race. And I'm eager. No, not now like today, just now as in soon. Arrowhead Hanover, one of our most anticipated horses returning in 2025. This horse has got a lot of ability and a lot of talent, and I can't wait to see him racing in Pennsylvania or wherever we choose to race him this year. Aunt Lily, one of the best fillies in Ohio last year. I think, truthfully, she for sure cracked the top 5. Won the Next Generation, ended up putting together a really successful 2-year-old run, and I like Aunt Lily. I can't wait to see her back at the track. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill is getting ready to go in Ontario. Quite frankly, Dominic likes the horse, but where's his ability lie? I don't know yet, and it's really hard. I'll know one thing. He schooled today. He's going to school again next week because he hadn't seen the gate yet. I'm going to ask James one question. Is he an okay trotter? Can he do? I don't think he's going to be a Mohawk horse. I was hoping he would be, but I don't think he will be. Will he be a useful 3-year-old? And if the answer is no in any way, shape, or form, then Bluebird Tuxedo Hill will likely be up for sale. Blue Ventura qualified very softly the other day. I suspect he's coming back with a second qualifier with Blue Ventura. He finished up his mile well. If you watch the mile, when I saw the line before the mile. When I saw the line, I'm like, come on, man. Like, this is a 54, 53 pacer. You're going to come out 59 with him? And then I looked at his mile. Tyler took him back, and he paced hard for the last 16th of the mile. Exactly what James would have done with the horse. They'll come back with at least one, if not both of those 3-year-olds, him and Foxy, this next week. We'll see. Cadeau is in, drew the 8-hole in his return to the races. Qualified good on Wednesday, but it's hard to get a bead when the track's like that and the mile goes the way it did. It's hard to get a bead on the horses. I'll know more when I go with them on Wednesday evening. Captain Incredible is just back jogging. He looks very good, put a lot of weight on, squared away in his shoulders nicely. I like what I see from Captain Incredible, and he won't be training for another couple of weeks, but he looks good jogging right now. Century Legion, I know a lot of my partners concerned about Century Legion, making breaks. And first off, I gave him the benefit of the doubt when I trained him down by himself. No head check and no hobbles, no nothing. He was great. But when push comes to shove and you start adding in and factoring in starting gates and horses in front of you and around you and behind you, it starts to chip away at that flawless exterior, right? Touched his outside knee and made a break in my qualifier. I don't really know what took place last week, but it was a bit of a dog's breakfast to watch the race. In a perfect world, he would have trained Friday or Saturday. We couldn't train him either day because of everything going on. So I think you likely won't see him train again until his next qualifier, just because it's supposed to be so cold next week. Very, very cold on Tuesday and Wednesday.
You said it will rain today.
It did. It was raining at the barn, honey. Chicago Hall, another highly anticipated horse, and I told everybody he's coming to Ohio. I haven't got him here yet. We were full here for a while, and quite frankly, with the weather the way it is, I don't think anybody's missing out. We train a little bit in Ontario, and I'm probably going to go over to Ontario at some point. For sure, I'll be over to Ontario. What we might do is during the O'Briens also, I'll go over and train him and the other filly, Resolve Indeed, and see how they feel, and then make my final decision. I know I did want him in Ohio. Is getting him on the half the best idea? I think it is. I thought it was. Is it going to stay the best idea? I don't know. You're getting a look at a lot of the stuff that goes on. It seems so very planned, but a lot of it is very fluid. And when it comes to Century Legion, Resolve Indeed, all the horses we're having in, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say, having a tough time getting in horses that aren't Pennsylvania breds in the Meadows, and having a tough time getting them in Northfield. It does take up some space in my brain, and it is bothering me a little bit. So that I'd be lying if I said that didn't maybe play a role also. Dancing by myself I jumped over somebody here. I just saw it. Country dancing. Will likely be schooling this week or next. I know she was a little bumpy at the farm on the 5/8 when I saw her last. But I want to get James to go with her behind the gate, see what he thinks of her. And then we'll know more about country dancing. Dancing by myself. This is a nice colt. He looked great schooling, qualifying. And then now in the race, his first start, he made a break and looked god-awful. We've been working with him. I trained him in 2-4. We made some shoeing adjustments. We hit him over to the vet. She found some things. His knees were bothering him. Like I said, they likely were. And the insertion of the high suspensory area was a little inflamed just from him hitting there. She did some shockwave therapy on that. Gave him a week. And now he will, I know you want to see him race or qualify, but we'll probably school him on Friday. I would imagine will be the way to go. Fire and Shine is training down and getting ready to race here in Ohio, as is, nope, I'm wrong. Foxy Seaside is not training down here. She's training down in Ontario. Qualified the other day and looked rather impressive in her qualifier. The mile I didn't really care about, but what went into the mile and how she looked, I did. She looked very, very good qualifying in Ontario last week. Is she going to race next week, or will she qualify again? I would suspect the latter, but that will be up to Dominic. Freedom Hill is getting closer to the race. It's probably 3-4 weeks away, I would say, with Freedom Hill. Gaslight Hall will start training next week. I love what I see from this guy. Really, really happy to see him come back good and look as good as he does. Gorgeous Package is training down and looking very, very good at Northfield. Another one of our highly anticipated fillies coming back, or highly anticipated sophomores coming back. It is Gorgeous Package. Grand Old Chap looks good, filled out a little bit, put a tiny bit of weight on, filled out his shoulders. Really happy with what I've seen.
Why are you laughing?
Because of your silly hat, you dodo. Grand Old Chap, again, this will be his chance. He's on his way back to the races now. This is his chance to prove he belongs at the stable and to prove that he's going to be a useful horse for us. I would wager he will. I've been known to be wrong sometimes too. We'll see how this plays out when in regards to Grand Old Chap. Grand Slam Dio trained awesome the other day. Little sensitive in the turns. Now this one no hobbles or anything. This is just bell boots and polos on behind. I thought she was very good. I would love to see her at Mohawk. So if we're gonna start making roster changes, you may see Grand Slam Deal make an appearance north of the border in the coming weeks. Gymboree grew up, looks big, looks strong. I want to go with her this week. Ava, what are you doing here? It keeps popping up on my iPad.
Oh, I'm just trying to charge it.
So Grand Slam Dio looks great. Gymboree looks very, very good also. I want to train her this week. Can't train her Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's too cold. So Thursday or Friday or Saturday, I'd like to get a decent mile in with her. I think very highly of this filly. I think we're going to have a lot of fun this spring with her. High Hopes getting close to qualifying. I believe she schooled yesterday. Just waiting. I saw Dominic message me a minute ago, so there'll be some updates in there from him. I Don't Play Nice, same as the thing with Harry. That horse getting close to schooling also in Ontario. I'm a trucker. If I go to Pennsylvania, he'll be on the truck on Tuesday to go school. I know it'll be cold. Trucker will be on the truck. I like Trucker. I just think that he's struggling a little bit with the half-mile track, and I'm well aware that his staking is in Michigan, but I just think this is a confidence thing. His mechanics don't strike me as a horse that should struggle on a half-mile track. So I want to believe once we get him stretched out a little bit and get him racing, that a half-mile transition won't be a problem for him. That's my hope, anyway. Leggy was a great. There was a great mile from Leggy the other night. 2-2. It was freezing cold at night too. 2-2 and 3 for a filly. It had only been in 2-5 once or twice. I thought it was a very good mile for her. Manhattan Money getting close, as close as I Don't Play Nice for sure in Ontario. When it comes to Harry, he's always going to add a little time, right? It's annoying to me because I think they should be ready, but at the same time, I'm not going to say, hey, you have to have that horse ready. You get him ready. I'm not. We hired Harry for a reason. Smart horseman. Had some world-class horses, both in Matt Scooter and on the road again. Trained major stable for a very long time. I'm not going to say you need to do this. More times than not, you should maybe listen. And if he wants to give them a little more time, then take a little more time. I know it's hard for some people, me being one of them, to to grasp. But just because I believe it should be done one way does not mean that that's the way it should be done. Once a couple of more weeks, a few more weeks, I'm going to give it to her. Melisandre, she trained great the other day. I suspect she's going to come out and train good again next week. But again, I don't want to train her Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be just too darn cold. It's too cold, babe. Too cold to train. What do you need? What are you trying to do, honey?
I'm just trying to see what percent they're
If they're what?
at. What percent they're at.
If they're at the percent where you need to leave them alone, Addie, put them in here. There you go. My God, these kids. If it gets to 5%, like, oh, I can use it. 5% is dead. Yes, it is. Memento Mori. Amy has him. She loves Memento Mori. He looks great in the barn. Looks good. Looks a little woolly coming out of Pennsylvania, but he looks really good. I can't wait to see what he looks like when we start to train him. That's probably 3-4 weeks away. Mountaineer Prince is training good. Jason said he trained good the other day, so interested to see how he'll continue to train down. Never Lose Felix. I talked to you guys about Never Lose Felix the other day. My thoughts on Never Lose Felix, where he is, where he was, where he needs to be. I think he's in the right place right now, and I don't think, unless he proves he can't do in that class at Mohawk. James will tell me next week. If he can't do in that class, fine, we'll move him over to Pennsylvania. But I would love to see him doing the numbers too at Mohawk. Oh, he'll know. Should have schooled yesterday. We'll see how she does next week. Pelican Al, I'd love to give you an update on him. I know. Yeah, they go to school. It's like an unofficial qualifier. Get your coat back on, you dodo. Right now. Yeah. So, Oh, he'll know. Should have been schooling. Pelican Al, I think he's about a week behind Oh, he'll know. So, I'm interested to see what Dominic is doing with him. I'm going to talk to him in just a minute. I know a lot of people saying, when's he ready? When's he ready? He's always been ready. I just need him to be better. So, I was eager to hear how Danny trained him without hobbles on. I don't know if Dominic did or not. I want to talk to him about this horse. Resolve Indeed, as I said, I'll probably train her when I go over for the O'Briens in a couple of weeks. Tell them that I want her ready to go. We'll go a stiff 1.5 miles with her. See how she feels in before, during, and after her training mile. Rose Run AJ is getting closer. I think Harry said he's been in 13. He'll probably be take him to Mohawk in another week or two. Rose Run Alexander is about 2 weeks behind Rose Run AJ, and she'll be ready to go after that. Rosetta will race next week. We've been changing her shoes. She's touching that hind shin. Not horribly. She thinks it's horribly, but not horribly. So I'm interested to see how she's going to train, or how she's going to race this coming week. Speed of Sound will be ultrasounded at the end of next week, I believe, and we'll have a definite idea of whether we're going to move forward with her. She improves that hind suspension hitting it. Just needed the information to come out. I want to make sure that we ultrasound it before we start back up and everything is back in operating order. There's no tears or holes or anything of that nature. Trevino on green. I know a lot of people were worried about his gait the other day. I just saw a horse that wanted to do his work. I'm more angry that he didn't get in next week in Pennsylvania yet. They have another maiden written for Thursday, and hopefully he can get in that race on Thursday. Westland Warriors training back good now. Probably he'll be ready around Valentine's Day, I suspect. He'll be ready to rock. And Woodmere Betche, we're going to turn her out for 5-6 weeks, I think. I'll leave that up to Smitty, but I suspect 5-6 weeks and bring her back. She missed the gate and then raced that horribly muddy track. Right time to rest her, I can tell you that. Muddy track. It's the right time to rest her because the weather's horrible and the tracks right now are bad, and especially the track I watched her race on the other day was disgusting. There's not much you can do about it when it creeps up over zero and there's ice in the track. It's a mess, so not much you can do about it. So those are all our newly minted sophomores. A number of them are racing. Some of them are getting ready to race. Some of them will be getting ready to race, and the rest will be ready to go in short order, probably within the next month, 6 weeks. Aside from Maury and Captain Incredible, a couple of those horses. Everybody else is getting ready to rock. So, hold on. I'll let you go. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you all very soon.